一开始。
错合 misfit.
好，一至一开始。
They harbor a disconcerting reality shock through the true-to-life feather and fur materials.
一至二开始。
Even if the sculptures are not directly laden with the message, they trigger numerous associations.
一至三开始。
They also seem to be related to the critical discussion about the possibilities offered by the genetic manipulation of living.
一至四开始。
It shows us mankind's anthropocentric understanding and the desire to order and ultimately also dominate nature.
二蝴蝶开始。
蝴蝶 papillon.
二至一开始。
In papillon, there are butterflies sitting on Marilla's body while his eyes are closed.
好，二至二开始。
The sculpture is bathed in a concentrated and peaceful atmosphere.
二至三开始。
The artist empathetically feels the connection with animals that is imminent in humans.
三幼苗开始。
幼苗 sapling.
三之一幼苗。
Sapling depicts a man carrying a tree-like child hybrid on his shoulders, highlighting themes of growth and nutriments, and reminding us that plants, like humans, live as part of a complicated network, and therefore interact with one another.
四犬头开始。
犬头 dog head.
四之一开始。
His sculpture addressed the subject of existential moments of the condition, human life, transience, and death.
好，四之二它开始。
The whole body appears relaxed, and therefore, all the more vulnerable.
四至三开始。
Jenck regards humans as creation that are also driven by instincts and intuition, but that also succumbs to the illusion of being entirely civilized.
好，五斜形开始。
斜形盛开，斜形编法。Shoe form bloom, shoe form tresses.
之一开始。
In her sculpture series, Shoe Form, Piccinini creates colorful and shiny plant shapes growing out of boots and heels.
之二开始。
The combination of the organic forms with the manufactured object is another very aesthetic way to naturalize technology through form, color, and surface.
五至三开始。
The artist states that she views dichotomies like natural, artificial, or human nature as highly destructive and that she wants to encourage the viewer to reconsider the normally distant relationship between mankind and nature.
第六个挽歌开始。
挽歌 eulogy.
六之一这件开始。
The highly sentimental work presents a man supporting the fish in his hands during its passing, mourning what mankind has destined for the misunderstood and underrated creature.
六之二开始。
Her work is emotionally loaded and unique in that it does not showcase a hybrid sculpture as is typical of the artist.
六之三开始。
Its rawness and honesty depicts a tender moment of the relationship between mankind and nature, and the consequences of human-centric ideals.
好，七机器人开始。
古俊机器人，后起一点与后气候变化时代的生命形式。Archaeabot, a post-singularity and post-climate change life form.
七之一开始。
The 3D printed Archaeabot is in its form of the microorganism modeled after the archaea.
好，七之二开始。
These primitive organisms live under extreme conditions and are considered to be very adaptable.
七之三开始。
Sensors have been attached to its thread-like arms, which explore its immediate environment by means of touch and determine its further movements.
七之四开始。
By referring back to an archaic life form, The artist duo explores which forms of life are possible after the collapse of our present-day living environment, a destruction that is largely driven by people.
第8个时间，
时间 time.
8之1窗台开始，
An artificial apple with a bite taken out of it is placed on the windowsill. It will look like someone took a bite out of an apple and just discarded the rest in the exhibition space, hoping not to get caught in the act.
8之2开始，
The work is of course very discreet, and some visitors may not even notice the work, or they may actually think that someone left an apple, which in a way is the point.
好，9无题开始，
无题 untitled.
9之1开始，
Centering a bare, pink carpeted room, your senses are overstimulated by the silence surrounding the emotionless child.
9之2开始，
To the observer, a conflict between feeling alone and feeling accompanied by another life form in the room, though not alive, is provoked by the lack of distraction and stimulation in the largely empty space and the subtle tapping of the fingers of the otherwise sleeping figure.
9之3开始，
This exemplifies how, using our own body, we can test how interaction and cohabitation between man and robot might come about in the future.
第10阿汤阿门，
阿汤与阿门 Atong and Amen.
好10之1开始，
This work introduces a pair of twins who ask themselves questions that will remain unanswered.
10之2开始，
First, viewers may be led to believe that they are looking at real people.
10之3开始，
Soon after, they become aware of the technical artifice.
10之4最后，
And finally, the fiction immerses them in a new reality, that of a problem-ridden, poetic world constructed by the artists.
好11开始，
体内
11之1开始，
The naked silicone bodies which appear in a state of sleep in a plexiglass encasing appear deceptively real.
11之2开始，
Sentius me sculptures seem to exist in the transit zone between death and life, or between decay and rebirth.
11之3开始，
And is he trapped, or is he safely protected from the outside?
12不用开始，
不用找钱了，德州路边餐厅服务生的手臂握着开瓶器。Keep the change. Texas Roadhouse waiters armed with bottle opener.
12之1开始，
With his art, Josh Keyline critically questions the mechanism of the capitalist consumer society.
12之2开始，
What will this be worth in 30 years? With digitization, technology, and artificial intelligence have radically changed our everyday life and work.
13之1开始，
神童 Wunderkind. We encounter one such with the sculpture Wunderkind, child prodigy, in the form of a small boy. Slightly bent forward, he stares resolutely at the observers from beneath his mop of black hair.
13之2开始，
Pressed into the corner and forced into the limelight, he wants to defend himself, possibly against the expectation that such a loaded title as Wunderkind places upon him.
13之3开始，
Peter Land sees the social spirit of the age reflected in the way in which adults deal with children and the standards they apply to them.
14开始，
格拉姆 Graham.
好14之1开始，
With characteristics such as a modified skull, an airbag-like torso, rougher skin, and the neck's removal, Graham is a remarkable human prototype.
14之2开始，
Piccinini gives us a glimpse of the kind of evolution necessary for the human body to endure the often fatal impact.
14-3开始。
For example, features such as the head, the body part most susceptible to injury, resembles a helmet, being given more cerebrospinal fluid and ligament to protect the brain from damage.
14-4开始。
Additionally, his torso depicts miniature airbags between each rib, while his neck has been removed entirely, limiting his mobility.